Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you a life and channel update. So I'm assuming that most of you that are watching this video already know much about my life. But those of you who are new here, I have a very hectic life and a lot has been going on this last year or so, since spring break of last year, I guess. Anyways, I've been thinking a lot about how I do things and how to preserve myself and still continue doing what I love to do. So this is not a goodbye. I'm not leaving the channel. I really love doing this. I just thought it would be a good idea to give a good life update because of everything that's going on in my life. And then what are the changes I'm going to make to the channel because mostly of those life updates. So one cannot go without the other. So yeah, here it goes. So if you don't know me, I am an elementary school music teacher. I teach kindergarten till 4th grade, and then 5th and 6th grade have drama classes instead of music. And I also have like 3 classes that are special ed with autistic children. So, and on top of that, I do have 3-ish concert bands. So I have a beginner's, more advanced, and one that is at our high school in the area where I teach. So that's a lot. I have a 9-year-old child that does competitive cheerleading. So that's also demanding a lot of time on our end. And I have a husband that has been struggling with mental health more during the last 5 years. He is now back to school. He's at uni and trying to balance everything out. Financially, it has been really rough. So he's studying linguistics. He has ADHD, and like that's not dealt with. We still need to like figure out the right medication for his ADHD to be like top notch. But he did come from very far, and like he's made so much progress, and I'm so proud of him, of like where he came from and where he is now. It's honestly a reminder of how resilient he is and how important it is to support loved ones that do struggle with mental health. And it can be very daunting when you're taking care of people that are struggling with mental health, like in the day-to-day life. But overall, looking back into it, like no regrets. And obviously, but like that's another subject for another time. But it's just, yeah, it really puts things into perspective and like what models we want to be for our child. Our son also has a couple of struggles here and there. He does have a speech impediment and anxiety and ADHD as well. So like it's a lot in the day-to-day, but it's going overall well. We just have a very tight schedule because of cheerleading. So he has 2 classes per week, plus a tumbling class here and there that I add on to his schedule on the Saturday, where we're already out for his team practice. But we still don't have a lot of time left during the weekends. I also have a concert band in which I do play clarinet, and those practices are on Sunday morning. So like my weekends are pretty much booked. On Wednesday, I have the concert bands for my students. So I get back home very late. And for drama school, I did write 2 plays for my students because there's not a lot of resources, as in like written plays for students to do. And that's a struggle for drama teachers. And in my district, I'm the only one left in elementary school. Yeah, so I'm pretty much by myself there. And everything I find don't have enough characters, or it's too long, or it's just like boring stories and cheesy. And I don't like that. So I might as well write something that I find interesting. So I put that onto my own shoulders, like it's my own fault. But that being said, since the beginning of the school year, I've been in this rush of like the beginning of the year. There's always a rush of things having to be prepared and ready for the beginning of the year, which is usual. It's normal. Okay. But what is not normal is that still to this day, we are October 31st, Halloween day, that I'm filming this. I did take my day off today because, yeah, and I still haven't gone over this rush since the beginning of the school year, late August. So that's saying a lot. And I'm just so tired that, yeah, I decided to take a day off. I needed this day off. I am taking this time to make this video, but I'm just really exhausted. On top of all of that, I also have the channel that I want to take care of. But yes, on top of being a teacher, having extracurriculum activities for my son, for myself, and my students, having a husband that goes to uni, is struggling financially, and having the channel, I also have a small business. So yeah, it's not going as I would love it to go, unfortunately, but I'm really trying hard. And I make book sleeves and bookmarks and pen holders and kitchen aprons for children and adults. And I really love doing what I do with the business. I love where I'm at with that, but it does take quite a bit of time. And right now, the list of things I need to get done is huge. I'm feeling like I'm always putting out fires all the time, and everything was due for last week. And that is exhausting. So I was thinking last weekend, I was thinking about it and seeing like, how can I make this work? How can I make sure that I do a little bit of everything and progress in everything in all of these aspects of my life? And there are some things that belongs to me and it's a bit my fault, I know, but other things I cannot control. And I'm trying to make the most of everything, and I'm trying to just like let go of things that I cannot control, or like things that I could let my husband manage and all that. So that I've been like not too bad at, but yeah, the editing and the social media is really hard for me these days. And I'm talking like social media, I'm talking about like for the business, which I'm doing more locally in the province of Quebec, because that's where I live. And I have not been consistent. And the key to those things is to be consistent if I want to grow as a channel, but also as a business. So I'm kind of really struggling, and I'm trying to figure out like what can work. When I started TikTok a while back, I don't remember when, I'm thinking 2023-ish, something like that. I loved doing TikTok because it was smaller format. It did take me a lot of time to just like figure it out and plan ahead all of the videos, because those videos I have to plan them out. And that took a lot of time, and I felt like it was daunting, which is why I kind of fell out of it after a while. And I loved doing those a lot. And then I would also post them on the YouTube shorts. So that I did enjoy. I've been having a hard time trying to get back into that, because I don't want to do those videos if I haven't been caught up with all of my vlogs that I usually post on my channel. So right now I do vlogs, I do TBRs and wrap-ups. I sometimes do live sprints, and that's pretty much it. I wanted to do so much more. I do dedicated vlogs as well, where I read a full series and then edit that video with spoiler thoughts on the series. So there's that. There, I have a couple of those ongoing, which I haven't finished reading. And like reading wise, I've been struggling as well because I come home and I'm just so tired and I try to read and fall asleep on my book really, really easily. And sometimes I don't even get to pick up my book. And I would be a little bit more productive if I didn't sit down to read and sat down to sew instead and sat down to do like other things that I could be doing that would not make me fall asleep. But I also want to be reading to make content on my channel. So like it's just a big mess. And every time that I sit down like to do something, I hyper focus a lot. Like a lot. And when I'm really productive, I can be productive for hours on end and not even want to stop to eat or like stuff like that. And I find that hard because I love when I'm hyper focusing and that I'm very productive and efficient. But at the same time, there's other things that don't get done. And like I'm either really productive in one area and not productive at all in the rest of it. And then just struggling to go through all of that and trying to make progress and everything. And like the thing with the business is that in November, I have 3 big craft fairs coming up for Christmas and I need to be ready and I'm not. And that's really annoying me. But yeah, after thinking about all of those things, what I want for my channel and how can I be more efficient with my time? I was trying to do a routine where I would do a little bit of everything before settling down to read, but I know that I'll fall asleep again on my book if I do that. So I was thinking of a way where, like, what can I do? There's a couple of things that were annoying me in the videos I was putting out. I am still putting out at the moment. Is my vlogs. Usually I love and I want to keep them, but I do them weekly. And the thing with weekly vlogs is that I don't read most of the time during the week, especially like Tuesdays and Wednesdays where I'm not available because I come back home very, very late and have to take care of my son cheerleading. And then I come back. It's usually on Wednesdays. I'm back by 10 p.m. at the minimum. So like there's no way I'm going to be reading and updating a vlog. And then on Thursday, I haven't read yet. So I try to read and then I haven't read. And now it's already Friday and the week has been long gone. So what do I do with that? Also, not reading much means a very boring wrap up for 1 or 2 books tops and a very boring TBR because the next month I'm just rolling over the same books over and over again that I haven't got the chance to get to the previous month and the month before that and the month before that. And I've been rolling over for several months now. And it's just so tedious to make when I know that I already talked about those books and it's not necessarily interesting for people watching those TBRs, I guess. I don't know. It's not necessarily exciting for me to make because of the fact that I'm talking about the same old books over and over again. So I can imagine as a viewer, it might not be as exciting either. So what can I do about all of those things? I thought about it a lot. And I think I've come up with a solution that might suit my schedule a little bit more. I don't know. We're just doing some trials and errors here. But right now it's not working. So I can't keep on doing that. So first of all, I don't necessarily want to, but if that makes me like read more and like feel like it's less tedious. Anyways, I'm going to stop doing some monthly TBRs. Hear me out. I'm still going to be doing TBRs, but I will do them quarterly, if that makes sense. So I'll go with like from January till March, April till June, July till September, and October till December. So 4 TBRs for the whole month. And if I have specific readathons, like the Aurelium, for example, I'll try to include it or do a separate video just for the Aurelium if those prompts come up a little bit later than when I do my typical quarterly TBR. But at least that will give me some time to get to a lot of books and have a lot of books from which to choose from and go from there. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that's going to give me a little bit more space to actually get to those books and not have the same old books over and over again in those TBRs, if that makes sense. Because that's the goal. But that also means I won't be having my bullet journal time lapse for that. So I might do like separate videos for that. I do those monthly, and I do love to do that time lapse and color in my bullet journal. I really enjoy that, even if it's quick, but it's easy to edit out. So that's the other issue that I have, which I'll come back to just after. So yeah, I'll probably do a separate video for the bullet journal every month instead of putting it in the TBR, because I don't want to do the bullet journal for the full month, because sometimes the spreads will depend on the books I read at the end of the month when I do the wrap up part. So I'll probably just keep those videos in my computer and then do a separate video so that it's a bit easier to manage that way. So there's that. And then for the wrap-ups, instead of having only like one book or two books read and that's it and the video is done, I'll do a quarterly wrap-up as well. If I get to reading more, I might go back to like monthly TBRs and monthly wrap-ups. But as of right now, I don't read enough to do those. And it's just a too tedious task to get done, because the issue is the editing. So I love long videos. I love watching them. I love doing them and filming them, but they take a long time to edit. And I've been struggling to get time to edit. So that's why I'm going to try to focus on shorter videos. And even if like I know short wrap-ups could fit in there, I think that it's a bit boring talking about just one book in a wrap-up, which doesn't make sense to me. So I'll do those quarterly, and the bullet journal will add up to like more videos, but I'll just separate my contents in many videos instead, and it should be shorter. So yeah, something like that. And I don't know if that makes sense, but it kind of does to me. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Also, the weekly vlogs, I don't update during the week, so there's no use to continue doing them weekly, so I'll do them for the weekend only. And the other change that led me to do weekly reading vlogs, because I've tried that in the past, and I've been switching in between like weekly reading vlogs and weekend reading vlogs. I've done both. And when I do get to read during the week, it's mostly during summer or when I have a little bit more time and I'm not as swamped with work and stuff. But like there's no way with all of the projects that I have on hand right now that I'll be able to read more during the week. I don't think that's going to be happening. I'm just accepting that. So that's why I'm going to go back to the weekend reading vlog and just focus for the weekends on my channel. So editing, planning videos, and reading. That's going to be my focus for the full weekend. And during the week, I'll focus on my business, and that's it. And the household, and that's it. I mean, it doesn't mean I won't pick up a book during the week, but I won't talk about it in a vlog, if that makes sense. The other thing that annoys me in the weekly reading vlog is that when it's been so long since my last update, I don't remember what was the last thing I talked about. And when I edit, I realize I just ramble things I've talked about in the last clip I didn't think I talked about. And then I just repeat myself over and over again. And it's so annoying and it's not fun to edit at all. So yeah, editing and sewing and my website for my business would be my focus during the week, and reading, editing, planning, reading, filming, planning, maybe editing during the weekend. That would be, I think, a good plan to do. I think it's more realistic because I have a little bit more time to read during the weekend, if that makes sense. I don't necessarily have time, but it's easier for me to make time to read during the weekend. Oh, and the short videos. Forgot to get back to that. But yes, I do want to do more short videos. I want to get back on TikTok and post them again on YouTube Shorts. I loved doing that. And I'll have to plan those out during the weekend and film them during the weekend. And edit. The editing of those videos are quite easy to get to, and it doesn't take a lot of time compared to longer videos. I love long videos, don't get me wrong, but I just want to get content out there as much as possible. So I'm trying to make it easier for me to get the content out, because that's the issue right now. I'm just so behind, and the blacklist of videos I need to edit keeps adding up, and that's not working. So if I want to be more efficient with getting the content out and not being behind all of the editing, I need to break it into smaller videos. I think that's a recipe that should work. I'm saying should. I don't know if it's actually gonna work, but it should. So yeah, I think I'm really excited to get back into those shorts and TikToks and smaller videos. I think it's going to be easier for me to get through that. Don't get me wrong, there are going to be longer videos. So the TBRs should be similar-ish as to what I've done in the past, even if it's quarterly, because I end up reading all of those books for the full quarter anyways. So there's that. And then having a little bit more videos because of the bullet journal, not in the same videos as the TBRs, that should help. And I will still have longer videos like the dedicated reading vlogs. Those are staying. I love doing those. So you'll still have those, and they're going to be longer videos as well. So those are mostly the changes that are to come. Starting now-ish, I miss doing other content than just like TBRs and vlogs. Like that's the other thing where I just can't seem to do other content than TBRs and wrap-ups and vlogs, because I'm just so behind editing that I don't have the time to actually do some different content that I would love to do. So that's another reason for wanting to get like more content out in terms of like shorter videos instead of longer videos, if that makes sense. So I hope you'll enjoy these new video-ish. It won't be like completely different from what I've been doing so far. I don't think so. You're still going to be getting me and my reading thoughts and all that stuff in my videos. It's just, yeah, I think I need to do those changes, and I did want to update you all on everything that was going on, which is a lot, and I'm doing okay. Honestly, don't be worried about me. I did take a day off today for that reason, because I was feeling just so overwhelmed and just exhausted. I am going to stop filming right now to go and read, but I am hoping to grow my channel. Obviously, I would love that to happen. I don't look too much at the numbers, which is fine, but at the same time, I really want to grow and be able to discuss with the viewers and everyone. I don't want this to be a one-way thing, which it does seem to be, which is okay. I don't force anyone to comment or like all that stuff, which it's fine. I really appreciate everyone that watches my videos, but I would love to reach out to even more people. And I've been at the same number of subscribers for a long time now, and I really want this channel to grow. So I'm hoping that we'll get there eventually with more content out. I don't want to stress out because of the numbers, but it is there behind in the back of my mind still. So I do want to still have that in mind while doing the content and everything. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to stop rambling at this point. If you want to comment, you are welcome to. I would love to discuss everything with you. Like, subscribe if you wish. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you soon in the next one.